How to overcome the fear, doubts, and embarrassment of going to the gym when you are training for your marathon. Maybe you've come to the conclusion that you need to start lifting weights. You just don't know where to start, what to do, or you're worried about getting injured or what people are going to say. Well, in this training, I'm going to walk you through exactly a plan that you can start following today. Exact exercises, the reps, the sets, and how long of a rest to take in between each set. So I hope you enjoy this free training. Enjoy. How to overcome the fear, judgment, and embarrassment of going to the gym when you are training for your marathon. If you're watching this video, chances are you want to start going to the gym and lifting weights. Maybe you've come to the realization that if you lift weights, it's going to help with preventing injuries. It's going to help with you getting stronger. So it's going to help you improve your running because you'll be able to run farther, you'll be able to run faster. Or maybe you want to improve your physique and your body, and you have body composition goals, or you want to build lean muscle or burn fat, or whatever the case is. If you want to start lifting weights and you are worried about it, you don't know what to do, well, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know, including a workout that you can start doing today so you can hit the ground running and start lifting weights. And so if you are a beginner, chances are you don't know what to do. You don't know how many reps to do, how many sets to do, what exercises to do, how much weight to do. You just have no idea. And that's totally fine. We all start somewhere. And so I'm going to walk you through exactly what you need to do. Or maybe the gym, it just seems overwhelming. It's daunting. There's a lot of people there. There's a lot of pieces of equipment, and it can be very overwhelming and even scary. Or maybe you're worried about the judgment of others. When you do something for the first time and you're walking into a place where there's been people there for several years, it can be very easy to feel out of place. You could feel like people are watching you or going to judge you because you're doing it wrong, or they're going to make fun of you. And lastly, maybe you are worried about getting injured, right? One of the worst things you can do is get injured. The point of going to the gym is to not get injured. And so the last thing you want to do is go to the gym to get injured. And so I'm going to break down each and every single one of these points to ensure that you start working out and going to the gym so you can reap the benefits and the rewards of consistently lifting weights. And so here's the reality. The reality is, like, if you want to know what to do, if you want to overcome the overwhelmingness and the fear and all of that, the main thing is you need a plan. If you have a plan and you're focused, you're not going to get distracted. You're not going to be overwhelmed. You're going to be laser focused on exactly what exercises to do, and it won't be so overwhelming. You'll have a clear path. And so the biggest thing is you need a plan. You need to know exactly what exercises to do, how many reps you're going to do, how many sets you're going to do, how long of a rest you're going to take in between each set. You want to have a general idea of how long it's going to take you. And then this is kind of hard to write out of the gate, but you want to know how much weight you're going to lift. And so you need a plan, and it needs to be a pretty detailed plan. If you have a plan, then you're not going to get overwhelmed or scary because you're going to know exactly what to do. And so the thing about lifting weights, though, is it takes 3 to 4 weeks. It's not an overnight thing. You're not going to be able to just walk into the gym and have a clear understanding. In a way, it is like learning a new language, right? Anytime you try to learn a new skill or new language, it takes time. It's the same thing with lifting weights. It takes about 3 to 4 weeks. For me, it took me several years to lift weights, but with the right training and the guidance and the coaching, you can learn how to lift weights in just a few weeks. And so expect that it's going to take a couple times for you to get used to it. Understand it's going to take some time to understand how to do each exercise, the form, how much weight you can lift. So just count on it taking 3-4 weeks to get a good understanding. Because if you set the wrong expectations and you go in there thinking, I'm just going to learn it all in one day, then you're going to mislead yourself and you're not going to end up wanting to come back. It's one of the things where you got to go in there, figure out a couple of the pieces of equipment, figure out a routine, and then come back a few days later and more until you actually understand each and every exercise, all the equipment. So count on it taking 3 to 4 weeks for you to understand how to lift weights. And to counter this fear of judgment of others, the reality is, like, people are very friendly in the gym. They're all willing to help, and they're focused on their own workouts. If anytime you need a spot or you're uncertain of if you're doing the right weight or if you're doing the right form, I've never been in a situation where someone was mean to me or refusing to help. And I've been lifting weights for 13 years now, give or take, consistently, just about every single day for a very long time. And I don't think I've had an interaction that was negative. Everyone's very friendly. Everyone's trying to improve. Everyone's on their own journey. Everyone wants to get better. And just about everyone, I don't know everyone, but more than less, are willing to help you out. They're willing to spot you and give you some advice. And so don't let the fear of others stop you from going to the gym, because the reality is everyone's very willing to help you out. And if you think that people are going to judge you, they're really not. Everyone's focused on their own workout. They got their headphones in. They're listening to the music. The only time someone may, quote unquote, judge you is if you're doing something like absurd and you're making a scene, you're loud noises, you're throwing the weights, like you're just doing something that makes no sense. Then, okay, someone may like look at you and kind of give you a look like, what are you doing? But if you have a plan, you know what you're doing, you come in there, you take it serious, you have your head down and just focus, no one's gonna say anything. Everyone's gonna be there to help you. And then a lot of people think, okay, well, I'm gonna get injured. And the reality is, like, you're only gonna get injured if you have bad form and you lift super heavy weights, right? If you try to do a 1 rep max or 2 reps or even a 3 rep max, then you increase the likelihood of getting injured just because that weight's so heavy, and you're going to end up compromising your form to lift the weights. Like, for example, if you're doing deadlifts and you try to do a 1 rep max, what ends up happening is you're going to arc your back, and so it's going to look like a cat, right? You want your back straight when you deadlift, but if you use super heavy weights and you don't have the core strength or the leg strength or even the back strength to do it, then your lower back is going to be the first thing to go, and you're going to arc your back and look like a cat. And so to prevent that, you don't want to lift super duper heavy weights. You don't want to try to do anything what powerlifters do and just go for a 1 rep max. You want to stick to down here, which I'll walk you through here in a sec, more the 8 to 12 rep range. That's a perfect happy medium number of reps to prevent injuries, but also it's enough reps where you're lifting a decent amount of weight to actually get stronger, because that's the whole goal. And so the main thing is you need to have a plan. And so what would a typical plan look like? Well, first off, 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for 45 minutes to an hour, solid plan. Now, what would you want to do? On a Monday would be, let's say, a pull day, which is back and biceps. And I'm going to walk you through this workout here in a sec. Leg day, quads, glutes, hamstrings, calves, sticking to the basics, right? Squats, lunges, leg press, etc. And push day, chest, shoulders, triceps. You could do bench press, shoulder press, tricep extensions, etc. So that's a solid plan. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 45 minutes, isolating each muscle group, just doing it once a week. So that's a plan. Now, in terms of a detailed plan of what exercises to do, well, here's a poll day that you could do every Monday or every Friday or however you want to do it. But what I would do is I would start off with deadlifts. Now, if you're brand new and you're worried about doing deadlifts because you've heard bad things and you don't want to do it quite yet, that's fine. You don't necessarily need to do deadlifts yet. But I will say this one is probably one of the best exercises you can do for just overall strength. It's going to help strengthen all your back muscles and your hamstrings. And so this is definitely an exercise you will want to do. But if you're just walking into the gym for the first time and you're like, I don't know about deadlifts, okay, maybe give it a couple weeks before you start doing the deadlifts. But if not, then you'd want to do lat pull downs. This is the world's easiest exercise. It's technically a machine where you're not going to get injured. Very hard to get injured, especially if you do 8 to 12 rep range. It's lat pull downs is you can do close grip or wide grip. You can use either one of the attachments or however you want to do it. But lat pull downs is an exercise that is very easy to execute. And you can just kind of look these up on YouTube or whatever to watch someone do each exercise. And maybe one of these days I'll create a video of me doing each exercise so you guys know how to do it. But lat pull downs is an exercise that's very easy to do. Cable rows, another easy exercise. It's not too complex. It targets more the lower back than anything. I will say about cable rows, though, if you go super heavy, then it does put a little strain on your lower back. But if you stick to the 8 to 12 rep range, then you're not going to have any issues. So cable rows is a good one. And you can use any of the attachments for cable rows. You can do close grip. You can do wide grip. Bunch of different attachments. But I think cable rows should be a staple to your back workouts. And then dumbbell rows is another great exercise for strengthening your back. Shrugs is another one, especially if you're running longer distances. If you have your arms in the running position for 3 hours, 4 hours, or even 5 hours, well, your traps and your biceps are going to get really sore. And so doing dumbbell shrugs to strengthen your traps is going to help. And so doing dumbbell shrugs is another great one. Pull-ups. If you don't want to do deadlifts, then I would add in pull-ups. You can do assisted pull-ups if you want to do that, but throwing in some pull-ups is a great exercise for strengthening your back. And then this is a solid back workout, and then you'd want to do a couple exercises to strengthen your biceps, right? Just basic bicep curls. You could do this with dumbbells. You could use the easy bar, which is like a bar. It looks like a S type of thing. Hammer curls is another good one to strengthen your biceps. And so this right here is the exercises that I do every week and that my clients do consistently and that I would recommend that you do. Like I said, it's going to take 4 weeks. So this workout in itself is going to take 3 or 4 times if you did it every single Friday or every single Monday, whichever you prefer, to get the hang of it. So count on it taking a few weeks for you to truly understand, okay, what am I doing? How does this work? Okay, this is how it's supposed to feel. Okay, this makes more sense. Okay, this is how much weight I should be lifting. So count on it taking 3 to 4 weeks. But this is a solid plan that you could go into the gym, and if you knew each one of these exercises and how to do them, no one's gonna judge you. It's not going to be scary, and it's not going to be overwhelming. You don't have to worry about getting injured if you stick to the 8 to 12 rep range. And in terms of how many reps, sets, and weights, well, you want to, for reps, 8 to 12 reps, like I was saying, if you do 1 rep, 2 reps, or 3 reps, you increase the likelihood of getting injured. And then if you start doing 20, 30, or 40 reps, it becomes more of a cardiovascular workout. And since you're already running, there's no need to do more cardio. The goal of strength training is to get stronger. And so to do that, you got to break down the muscle, right? Achieve progressive overload. And sticking to the 8 to 12 rep range is that happy medium of where you want to be. So essentially what it'd be is you would do 8 reps to 12 reps of a lat pull down. And then after you do 8 to 12 reps, and you would take a 60-second, give or take, break, and then you would do lat pull downs again. and for 8 to 12 reps. And then you take another 60 seconds, and then you do lat pull downs again for another 8 to 12 reps. And then you take a 60-second break for a total of 3 sets for each exercise. And so the best way to go about this is like maybe you want to do lat pull downs. The first set, maybe you do 12 reps. The second set, you do 10 reps. And then the third set of lat pull downs, you do 8 reps. That's it. That's all you got to do. And then you go to the next exercise. You do cable rows, 3 sets. Then you go to dumbbell rows and you do 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps. And then you go down the list. And so if you do that, that's a solid plan of exactly, it's a solid plan. That's literally just follow this and you'll be in a good spot. And if you do it consistently, like I was saying, it's going to take 3 to 4 weeks to get over the learning curve. But about 5, 6, 7 weeks in, you're going to start seeing a transformation in your physique. You're going to notice you're going to get stronger. You're going to have more muscle definition, more tonality, reduced body fat, especially if you have your nutrition dialed in. And then, around the 8-week mark, give or take, you're going to start seeing all the pieces come together where it's going to start helping your running. You're going to notice you're going to feel stronger. You're going to notice you're going to be able to maintain your pace for more miles. So instead of getting tired maybe at mile 5, you won't get tired until mile 7 or 8. You're going to notice you're just going to have overall more drive, more kick, and more power when you're running. Some of the clients I've worked with, they said, one of them, she was saying how it felt like she had nitrous and 700 horsepower. It's kind of like a car, right? She felt like she was driving in Fast and the Furious. And so if you are struggling on your runs or you don't feel like you have as much drive or power and you're fatiguing, the best thing you can do, lift weights, do it consistently, and then just understand that it's going to take you 3 to 4 weeks to get used to it and that you need a plan. And if you have a plan and you work out consistently, well, then you're going to be able to reap the benefits and the rewards of lifting weights. So I hope you enjoyed this training, and I hope that this inspired you to go to the gym today and lift weights.